join us.
What's going on, Star Wars fans and action figure collectors? Very excited about bringing you Shaak from Attack of the Clones, the 8th figure from the Attack of the Clones sort of sub-line of the Black Series. She's looking pretty damn good. This is one I've been very much looking forward to. And personally, I hope a 3 3/4 inch scale one is on the way too. Very much overdue for an update, but I'll take this every day of the week. So there's Shaak on the side, really nice picture. It goes nicely with the the other image here. This is the Luminara Unduli, which I reviewed yesterday at the time of recording this. It's a very nice image of Shaak, who to this day still doesn't have a canonical death. She's had about 3 in different forms. She was killed by Anakin, she was killed by Grievous, she was killed by a Sarlacc pit in The Force Unleashed. But nothing on screen in terms of canonicity, so very cool. A wise and patient Jedi Master, the Togruta Shaak fought at the Battle of Geonosis and supervised the training of clone cadets on Kamino. And we've got the Kamino and clone troopers from a few years ago. They're going to stand either side of Shaak on my shelf. I think they'll look fantastic. Let's open her up and have a look. Alright, here is an absolutely stellar action figure. Wow, really, really happy with this one. She looks fantastic. Yeah, this is one just super looking forward to this one. She's just absolutely unreal. You know, just another cool alien Jedi, which, you know, I love. I've always loved Shaak and her design. Just, yeah. And then, you know, to go on and see younger version of a Togruta in Ahsoka. And we sort of got that sort of flash forward at Mortis to sort of see an older Ahsoka. And she was sort of very similar, like, in terms of the head tails to Shaak. So whether she goes down that route and ends up that way, we'll see. But we're here to talk about Shaak. We're going to take a look at her lightsaber first. Pretty standard lightsaber. I think we've seen this with a few figures already. We just talked about Luminara, who had a repainted lightsaber of Plo Koon's. And yeah, it's fine. You know, she's pretty much got a pretty basic sort of lightsaber hilt anyway. So there's no real need for anything extravagant for this one. It's going to be in her hands. And she does have a peg on her belt, whereas Luminara did not. So let's just sort of see how that sort of fits on. There we go. So that fits on there nicely. But let's be honest, we're all going to have her wielding the blade. Let's peg that bad boy back on. Let's take a look at the figure. Just bring the camera back a little bit. We can get a nice close-up look at the face, the paint detail. Which, you know, you'd hate to get a sort of production error on this figure because there's so much little intricate details with the gold. There's that ever so slight little bit of red bleeding under there, but you know what? I can't see that with the naked eye, so it's only because I'm zooming so far up on my camera phone here. But yeah, the detail is just superb, really nicely done. The sculpting of the head, the Montrals on the top, and the sort of head tails, they're actually a separate part too. I can't really see where they join. I think just in there's that slight little join there, I'm pretty sure. Same with the head tail on the back. You can sort of see that join right where the end of my thumb is. And that's cast in like a much softer plastic, which is really nice. It'd be cool if they were wired. But yeah, you can sort of see that's a really nice flexible plastic. Allows for unhindered articulation. Move it around. So, you know, when it sits up on the shoulder like that, no hindrances there. That's fantastic. Really nicely done. She's got the Jedi robe as well, and it's the I like it when they pin them down, pin the hoods down. I don't know how she puts it on anyway, but that's really nice. She's almost got this sort of scarf coming down the front. And again, this sort of real ornate look to the front. I sort of talked about Luminara sort of being able to, dress in a way that sort of reflects her culture. And I like to think this is very similar, the Togruitans, being able to, showcase a little bit of their culture as Jedi Knights, as representatives of their species. I like the idea that the Jedi are allowed to sort of have a little bit of individuality with that. So I dig that. I think that's really nicely done. Really cool, nice design. I think probably one little flaw that I'm picking up here is the color of the skin of the chest. It's not really matching up with the head and the neck, but it's a small detail. I'm not going to be too fussy about that. Let's take the robe off and get a look at how the figure sits. All right, so this skirt is really long. It's got a long tail on it. It's an interesting sort of cut. I thought it was going to just sort of hug around the base, but yeah, there's a lot to that. It also allows her to move around a lot more. But I like it. It's very, very cool. Let's see if that will come off. Okay, so the little scarf thing just sort of pegs into the back there. And that is glued down. So that's not going to go anywhere, which is cool. Yeah, she looks a little skinny without the robe. So that'll be going back on. I think she looks better with a robe anyway. But in terms of articulation, she's got the ball joint in the top of the neck, ball joint in the head, ball joint at the bottom of the neck. She's got the ball hinges in the shoulders, got the butterfly joints in there, so you get a little bit of forward motion. Ball hinges in the elbows, ball hinges in the wrists, up and down for both of them. She has the lower torso joint there, and I think she's reusing the same legs as various other figures. So, or a Sing, I think, was one of the first ones. Luminara's using the same legs. Different boots. So she's got the tall lace-up boots, and their dates stand for 2024. So I don't think they've been used, but yeah, I think maybe Luminara's were new too, just the boots. It's good they can reuse the legs, especially when they're hidden, and give a bit of love to the figures, and maybe put a little bit of that budget into the head sculpts and stuff like that. If you're going to get them looking this good, happy to see a little bit of leg and arm reuse if they're not shown predominantly, like this one. Get that floppy head tail out of the way. But yeah, all the articulation down the legs that we've seen before. And we're going to do the old peg test. Get her up on a KR stand here. And yeah, perfect fit. It's not going anywhere. Fits nicely, stands well. I would have liked to have seen her with a little bit more of a force gesture hand. But yeah, she's pretty much just got two sort of standard open hands. Yeah, I love the extra fabric on that skirt. I like the way when you've sort of got the robe. Even the robe seems to be cut a little bit longer down the base there. Sort of runs down, but I like having that sort of hanging out the back. That looks really good. But yeah, this is a absolutely stunning figure. Really, really impressed. She looks great. As I said before too, it's nice to have a few more Jedi in the ranks. And again, I brought down a couple of the clones from Camino. I'll get a cool shot of them together. Yeah, they look good together. Looking forward to having these set up on the shelf. Get that robe sort of hanging down a little bit more. If we get a Black Series Sergeant Brick and LS, go for it, Hasbro. Go for it. Yeah, another fantastic addition to the Black Series line. Really happy with this one. These clones are pretty sick too. Having not really handled them and looked at them for a little while. But yeah, perfect companion with Shaak T. Hope you've enjoyed taking a look at this review, this figure. If you enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, drop a comment if you'd like to have a say, and we'll see you again for some more reviews very soon. Until then, may the force be with you always.